All right, let's switch gears. Time's now 5:16. Rain back in the forecast you need to know about.
Yes, unfortunately, just in time for Jazz Fest for your Friday and Saturday. We're tracking some storms, and the muggies, they are back. So back to our regularly scheduled Gulf Coast weather, as we say, and there's no big cold fronts coming anytime soon. There's your humidity forecast. It's humid to oppressive from here on out. Now, this is not August humidity, but it certainly feels it compared to what we've been dealing with. Here's your rain chances through today. We'll watch for some scattered storms. Now, North Shore could see them a little bit earlier on in the morning, but I think the better chances in the city, including the fairground, for Jazz Fest will come through late morning and afternoon. Now, it's not going to rain all day long, but at times, if you do get a storm, it could be intense. There's a lot of energy in the atmosphere or instability that's going to be building up, and that can be fuel for these storms. So heavy rain, lightning, and thunder are the main things we're watching for. Look at this big batch of storms just to the west of Baton Rouge. A few storms popping up out here towards the river parishes as well. But the bigger story here is along I-10, right along the Atchafalaya. Unfortunately, we're having problems with our radar here on this system. So it shows it cutting off at about 15 minutes ago. These storms are a little bit further on. This radar, our backup one, it is showing that that line of that Boeing feature right there with some gusty winds is heading towards Baton Rouge. You can see a few of these showers popping up additionally down towards Morgan City and through the river parishes. So we do have at least one radar that is tracking it for you. The other one seems to be struggling this morning. Models are doing a horrendous job right now of what is happening, and that does happen this time of year with these types of setups. So take this with a grain of salt, but it's doing some things good. And what I think it's doing good is showing as we get into this afternoon, scattered storms popping up once we get the daytime heating. Oftentimes you need to heat up a little bit to fuel these storms and get them started. So we'll watch for scattered storms through the afternoon. Tonight, mostly dry. Saturday, we're going to be watching for scattered storms popping up during the afternoon. Here they go. Notice they pop up and then they rain themselves out over the span of a couple of hours. And then Saturday evening, we're dry. That gets us through today and tomorrow with scattered storms. Now, Sunday, I think, is going to be a bit drier. We don't have all the ingredients there for storms to develop, so Sunday may be mostly dry. Not the prettiest, still going to be plenty warm and muggy. We do have a risk for one or two severe storms today. This is why I need you staying weather aware at the fairgrounds. Gusty winds, lightning, certainly could be quite a bit of lightning in these. You don't want to be standing out in the open field with that happening, and then heavy rain. And you know how the water adds up there at Jazz Fest. I think we've all seen the dramatic pictures of people knee deep in some water. So that's what we'll be watching as we go through this afternoon. That's what we'll also be watching tomorrow. Now, while this is not going to be a widespread flooding issue, if you get under these storms, especially tomorrow, not a ton of movement to them. And whenever that happens, like in the summertime, you can pick up a quick couple of inches. And some guidance does spit out maybe 3 to 4 inches in isolated spots. It's not going to happen everywhere, but it does warrant enough attention to where we will be watching it for you, and you need to stay weather aware. Get the WWLTV app. The radar, you can zoom all the way into the fairgrounds if that's where you're standing. If you're at another festival, you can zoom in and see what the radar is looking like. It also has the future radar feature, which shows you where the rain is headed before it gets there. So pretty cool feature for you to check out on our WWLTV app. There we have it. That's a summer-like pattern for you. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Humidity will make it feel like the 90s. And we'll be watching for scattered storms mostly every day except for mainly Sunday. April?